Next, we have just changed the sequence of the presentations. We will now invite the Federal Secretary of Ministry of IT and Telecom, Mr. Shoaib Ahmed Siddiqui, on the stage, and afterwards we will have the person from Guard Square, Jax, to speak after his presentation, and then we will have tea break. So, sir, please come on the stage and enlighten us. And thank you very much for doing all what you are doing. And mashallah, this latest, although Dawn has written something wrong caption of the news item, but if you read the news, then that's good, positive comments.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Respected audience, physical and virtual both. It is indeed a very important moment, I believe, to be with you all and feel encouraged by whatever is being talked about, whatever is being said and whatever is being presented. That shows our strengths, that shows our weaknesses, that shows our challenges also. And if we have weaknesses and if we have challenges, then we develop the way forward for strengths and improvements. Let me first congratulate and acknowledge Total Communications for organizing this event. This third International Threat Intelligence Day, and we must be happy and feel good about it that in our country there are institutions and organizations who are working for decades in this regard and have been sensitizing not only the civil society, the technologists, but as well as the government also, policy planners, to work more in this field which is so challenging. As we have seen from the talks by the HBL executive, Mr. Azazia and the other gentlemen, it's a 360 degrees effort. It's a 24-hour work. It's not just that you do excellent, 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 1 minute is the gap where you are hit. So this is the level of alertness and vigil that is required. Technical people are here, persons in their own right, and of a great stature. And we have just heard a very logical and home-built presentation by Mr. Azhar, who is a member of the Emerging Technologies Committee led by the President of Pakistan, is also assisting the ministry on various counts, along with many others celebrated technical luminaries, I must say. Very rightly pointed out, this is not simply IT. Cyber security or information security or cyber threats are virtually a state-level matter. And they permeate throughout the society at all levels, through all organizations, whether they are in financial businesses, information services, or any other tactical works, whether they are in prosecution, whether they are the defense agencies, or energy producing organizations. We are used to reading news items stating that Radio Pakistan has been hit through a cyber attack, Karachi Electric, many other organizations, and there's so many attacks which keep happening. And there are so many, alhamdulillah, the setup in Pakistan, the defense services in Pakistan are so strongly alerted towards this that many attacks are not even noticed and they are thwarted without having come into limelight. Much has to be done. Not much has been done. And this is the important point. I'm glad the President has the vision. The Prime Minister is giving utmost importance to all what is required, not only in the field of IT, but also information security and cyber security. And the Minister is leading it in a very vibrant manner. We are, as I said, we are very lucky to have very competent people, because we strongly believe that sitting in office and thinking in generalistic terms or with an official approach, probably we would not end up at a very good conclusion and would not be able to get good results. Results which justify investments and which justify success. So that is why the ministry has adopted an approach of enabling organization, interactive organization, and we are blessed to have a galaxy of experts in various fields who are helping us in building various policies which should have been made much ago. So we are on to data protection, cloud policy, information security policy is already in place. Then the PICA laws are there, which is very fundamental requirement, but as just pointed out in the previous presentation, legislation has also to be continuous and dynamic process in view of the highly challenging requirements as technology is in a state of flux, is changing every moment. And if we are not responsive, we would not be able to tackle the problems. So with this policy, the ministry has, with this approach, in fact, the ministry has been able to move forward. And we feel happy that things are happening, things are coming up. When things are done, when work is done, and that should be done in the right faith and good faith, with simple, good approach, then there should be no fear of criticism. Because then people in the country, people abroad, they have their own views and ideas to judge what is being done. And criticism should never be taken wrongly. That helps us to improve. That helps us to bring in positive developments. Whenever I present a law to the standing committees or to the set of society members, including media, we sometimes face challenges. But when I, as rightly said by the anchor person over here, when I ask them to go through each item of the draft, then they feel more at comfort. So I've not seen Don's heading, but obviously I will see. Definitely, probably after having gone through everything, they would have realized that the thing is with the right approach. We need to have such things. We need to have information security protocols. We have to have certain protocols for social media activities, because if we don't guard, these become law and order challenges for us. These become challenges for personal lives. There have been cases where honor has been compromised, where lives have been compromised, where people have lost lives just because of non-serious approach and attitudes. So that is very important, that every country should have a positive format of protocols and rules and regulations to control things. And that is very necessary. You need regulations at home, you need regulations at your community level, you need regulations at state level. And because you have regulations at international level also. So we should never be shy of making right protocols and right regulations. With this, I mean, very enthusiastic and a very exciting days ahead. A lot of good work and good presentations would come forward. We would be learning from it. We would gather a lot from this. And I must also acknowledge Mr. Ammar Jafri, because I just saw him answering one of the questions. He is a very important lead in all this work, and he is doing work with passion all over the country, and obviously outside also. But in Pakistan, he is doing a lot of great work. He has rallied a good team with him, and he is a flag bearer in the cause against cyber security, you may call, or information security, whatever name you want to give, but he has been trying to resist the threats on this account. And we should always acknowledge good work. Acknowledging good work is a very important thing, unfortunately missing in our society. We are becoming more and more critical day by day. That should not be the approach. We should always do criticism for positive results and for bringing about improvements. I'm really excited to have heard to witness and see the presentation and the lecture and talk, whatever you may say, by the HBL executive, and this recent presentation which Mr. Azhar presented to all of us. And let me tell you that the cyber policy for the country is also being finalized. It is in one form or the other in practical shape, but a formal cyber security policy is under finalization. And the team, including Mr. Zia and Mr. John Jafri and some others, along with state institution people, are working on that. And I'm sure that very soon we'll be having this policy. So with this worthwhile session, a worthwhile time which I'm spending here, I'm thankful to Total Communications. I'm thankful to the presenters and all those who are giving their time in the national interest. And in fact, this is national interest. Let us invest, let us do more, and let us be more inclined towards such technological and governance needs of the country. Thank you very much.
Sir, can you please stay on the stage? Thank you very much. And the heading of the dawn is stakeholders up in the arms.
The most consultative part, first these rules were notified. The Prime Minister was gracious enough on representation, although a lot of consultation had gone there beforehand also. But the Prime Minister was gracious enough to have them stopped and allow another long series of consultations, which became even longer due to COVID. And international bodies and all others were consulted. And then finally, a more acceptable draft passed through the subordinate legislation process, through Cabinet Committee on Legislative Cases, and then the Cabinet, it was approved, and finally it is now.
Yes, and if you read those rules and couple them with the Prevention of Electronic Crimes Act, so these rules are only a way of implementation that act already, which was already in place, so nothing new actually.
No.
So it's the enforcement which has been...
These rules, there's always levels of legislation. The Supreme Court advocate is here, and first there is this act, statute, and then there are the rules which define how to proceed on that. As you have PICA, you have PICA rules also. So rules are the operational, as in the last presentation we had various things, processes, operations, and policies. So rules provide you how to steer, how to go ahead.
That's right. So thank you very much, Shoaib Saab. And let me invite Mr. Faisal Rahim on the stage. He is the CEO of Total Communications, who has been behind this conference and other conferences in the country. And we will have a quick session to distribute the mementos. And during this memento distribution, I would request that there should not be any handshaking, and so that we can follow the SOPs, and that's why I'm also off the stage. So first of all, we have to invite the keynote speaker of today's morning, which is Mr. Ammar Hussain Jafri. Sir, if you can please come on the stage to receive your memento. Please clap a bit loudly. It looks as if the hall is empty. And the next is Mr. Azhar Ziaur Rahman, who is... Okay, yes. You can shake hands with your own... And now we have the sponsors' shields. The exclusive sponsor is Habib Bank Limited, of course, but because of that there is nobody present physically here from Habib Bank, so we will...
Let us also acknowledge the sponsors. These are the moving spirits, and they are doing a great job, because with them, wisdom and intelligent activities keep moving, and we are visible as a more dynamic society. Because when so many experts sit together, so many thoughts are exchanged, so much learning takes place. Thank you.
And so that's why Habib Bank is sponsoring a Cyber Threat Intelligence Conference for 3 years. I mean, Habib Bank is a bank at the end of the day. So it's good that institutions which are not information security specific or technology specific, they are funding and sponsoring these events. So, sir, Azhar Ziaur Rahman sir, please, you've taken your shield. And next we have exclusive technology partners, which is Kaspersky. We have Mr. Usman Qureshi from Kaspersky, who is representing Kaspersky. Next, we have the local partner of Kaspersky, Digit Labs. Mr. Abbas Rajani is the Chief Executive of Digit Lab. Again, there is no clap. The main sponsor of today's event is Guard Square. and it is being represented by Mr. Muhammad Salman. Guard Square is a world-renowned company which provides some very unique kind of solutions, including security of mobile applications. And we have the local partner and representative of Guard Square, which is a company called Innovior, Innovior Tech. And it, for Receive the Shield, we have Mohammad Hamid Beg. And in the end, we are going to request Mr. Faisal Rahim to give a vote of thanks to Mr. Shoaib Ahmed Siddiqui. So thank you very much.